arm ourselves with what? Gong, kartals, mridanga, especially, and a few other instruments. So this is the actual military, the military group of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who go out in the streets chanting very loudly, chanting the holy names of Krishna, and making sure that everyone passing by is hearing that. So this is like the military going out on the battlefield. Yes? We did that for many, many years. I'm still doing. So when we use kartals, mridanga, we should be serious because we're going to war against Maya. Yes. These instruments are directly coming from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan. So each instrument, gong, mridanga, kartals, these are all transcendental instruments. And we should honor them in that way by playing them very nicely, playing them properly on time, everything. We had a lot of training in the early days. You haven't had that. But we learned from day one how to play the kartals, how to play the mridanga. Even we didn't have any mridanga teachers. We had only one beat, Tayo Tanakate. We had one beat that we learned. And there's no other beats for years. And finally some devotees went to India and they started to learn some various mridanga talas. You know, talas means different beats. So, and then gradually over time, now we have a few hundred super expert mridanga players, especially amongst the grown-up Vaishnava youth. But back then, we played very simple. But because I played drums before, so I could immediately pick up the mridanga and I could play it. Not perfectly, but I could play it. And so, but we should honor these instruments, not like bored by playing them. But we should think of how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is dancing in the midst of all these instruments. And he's telling, you play mridanga, you play kartals, you dance in the middle, you do this. He assigned all the seven parties. Actually, he assigned 4 of them, but the other 3 parties, they came from different villages. And then Mahaprabhu said, oh, then you sing in this party, like that. So we should always try to be enthusiastic in kirtan. And if I don't see somebody's mouth moving and chanting along with the kirtan, and if I don't hear them chanting, I'm going to get very upset. You want to see me get upset? No, we don't want to see. So, chant loudly so that I can hear you, at least. Okay? Don't just... No. Chant loudly. When you speak, you chant loudly, or you speak loudly, so people can hear you. So this is also to be broadcast. We've been given this mouth, tongue, these vocal cords. Why? To chant the holy name of Krishna. Not just do our own private little bhajan inside of our rooms. No. This is the mission of Mahaprabhu, is to chant loudly the holy names of Krishna. And we have microphones to assist this, but in the early days we had no microphones. So today is the day of Lord Jagannath's return journey. Did you know that? Where is it? Let me just check first. Yeah, is it tomorrow? Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Okay. It's tomorrow. Lord Jagannath's return journey. So, yeah. But today we will hear about Mahaprabhu's speaking with all the Vaishnavas and telling them now you should go back to Bengal and you should do this and this and this. He giving instructions to them. We'll hear about that from the 15th chapter of Madhya Lila. Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath. Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath. Jai Baladev, Jai Subhadra, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath. Jai Baladev, Jai Subhadra, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath. Jagannath Swami Nayana Patagami, Nayana Patagami Bhavatu me. Jagannath Swami Nayana Patagami, Nayana Patagami Bhavatu me. Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath. Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरून् दीनतारिणम्। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महाभजन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतिसे नमः। नित्यानन्दं नमस्तुभ्यं प्रेमानन्दप्रदायने कलो कल्मषनाशाय जानवपतये नमः। पंचतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तवतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जयतं श्रुतो भङ्गोर् मम मन्दमतेर्गति मत्सर्वस्वपदाम्बोजो राधा मदनमोहनो दिव्याद्वृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमः श्रीमद्रत्नगारसिंहासनस्थो श्रीमद्राधा शीलगोविन्ददेवो प्रेष्ठालिभिः सेव्यमानो स्मरामि। श्रीमन्रासरसारम्भी वंशीवताततः कर्षन् वेणुस्वनैर्गोपीर्गोपीनाथ श्रियेष्टुनः। बृन्दाय तुलसीदेवाय प्रियाय केशवस्य च कृष्णभक्तिप्रदे देवी सत्यवच्चमे नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. First of all, I'm offering my unlimited Dandavat Pranams and my Shraddha Pushpanjali at the lotus feet of my most worshipable beloved Gurudev, Nitya Leela Pravishta Om Vishnu Pad, Paramahansa, Ashtottara Shata, Sri Srila A.C. Bhakti Vedanta, Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada. And then I'm offering my same unlimited Dandavat Pranams and my Shraddha Pushpanjali, beloved Siksha Gurudevs, Nitya Leela Pravishta, Om Vishnu Pad Paramahansa, Asto Tarasata, Sri Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, and Nitya Leela Pravishta, Om Vishnu Pad Paramahansa, Asto Tarasata Sri Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. I'm also offering my unlimited Dandavat Pranams to all of my Sri Sri Rupanuga Guru Varga, my Siksha Guru Varga, and my Dandavat Pranams to all of the Vaishnavas and to all of the Vaishnavis. Yes, so the other day, in our Thursday class, we completed the chapter 14, Madhya Leela, which is entitled The Performance of the Vrindavan Pastimes. And I've repeated this a number of times in the recent classes, that our Srila Gurudev, Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, he's pointed out that discussion which took place in the 14th chapter between Sri Sarup Damodar Goswami and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu during the Lakshmi Vijay festival, Hera Panchami. So that what took place at that time, that discussion, Srila Gurudev has said that practically it's the highest discussion in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Then you would think, well, what about Ramananda Roy Samvad? Yes, that's also in the same category, actually. What is it about that discussion between Sarup Damodar and Mahaprabhu while observing Lakshmi Devi's mode of kind of like attacking her husband? What is it about the discussion that ensued that Mahaprabhu requested Sarup Damodar to speak about? What makes it in this highest of all categories? What is it about that discussion? Why is it considered to be on the topmost level? Do you know? No, you have no idea, of course. Because you have not studied it, you have not examined it. And the other thing is, I didn't read the whole discussion. One of the reasons why was because we were running out of time, but also the attention span of the audience I could see was, and I was not about to read the gems and these invaluable jewels to an audience that was not really ready for it. But I read it myself. I read it in my own personal study and carefully examined what is there. It's practically the wonderful, wonderful writings of Rupa Goswami, especially. and also Bilvamangal Thakur and various other slokas. But the Ujjvala Nilamani of Rupa Goswami is the main source for most of the topics that are being discussed there. And what is the Ujjvala Nilamani? Do you know what is Ujjvala Nilamani? This book? Do you know? Do you know what is Ujjvala Nilamani? What is it?
So it was composed Sri Rupa Goswami. It is explained very deep Nayak and Naik qualities and Rasa Tattva, very deep.
Have you read it?
Of course I want it, but I...
No, you cannot read. Ujjvala Nilamani is the sequel. You know what a sequel is? Just like in the movies. You have one movie, it made a lot of money, so now they want to do a sequel, which is the same movie, part 2. So Srila Rupa Goswami, first of all, he wrote his classic description of what is Bhakti Rasa. What is Bhakti Rasa? And what's the name of that book that he wrote? Yeah, say it in the microphone.
Bhakti Rasamtashi.
Yes. Which means the ocean of the nectar of Bhakti Rasa. That is the topic. How was Rupa Goswami able to write that literature? How?
Srila Chaitanya Prabhu inspired him in Prayag.
In the what?
When he met him, Prayag.
Prayag.
Yes, Prayag.
Yes.
Yeah.
How did he inspire him?
He gave him all mood by conversation with him.
How long did he speak with him?
I think about 10 days.
Yes. For 10 days, Rupa Goswami heard from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then Mahaprabhu, it's called Sanchari. That means that he invested within him the power, the potency to manifest these Bhakti Rasa Shastras. Yes. Without Mahaprabhu's empowerment, it could not be possible. So what are the topics in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu? Well, we happen to know what the topics are because our Srila Prabhupada gave us a summary study of that book. And he called it The Nectar of Devotion. And that book became our handbook. How to do bhakti. How to do bhakti. What are the different stages of bhakti? How to practice Vaidhi bhakti. How to perform the 64 limbs of bhakti. How to avoid the 64 types of offenses to bhakti. How to gradually come to the stage of spontaneous devotion, Prabhupada called it, Raganuga Bhakti. How to develop this. He described the stages of sadhana bhakti. Then he began to explain what is bhava bhakti and what is prema bhakti and all the divisions within that. It is the science of bhakti rasa. How can someone attain the ability to taste bhakti rasa? That is the book that has to be followed. If someone doesn't follow that book, then there's no possibility that they will ever be able to taste bhakti rasa. They have to follow it. They have to apply it in their life. They have to practice. They have to practice the system of bhakti yoga. And they have to gradually attain pure bhakti, uttama bhakti. And And only then can they begin to advance to the higher stages of bhakti. And also in the Srila Rupa Goswami divided this book into 4 different parts. And he called it the eastern, like the ocean has an eastern side, western, north, south. So he divided the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu into these 4 different parts. And then within those 4 different parts, he also designated the different topics that would be explained. So, in the stage of Bhav Bhakti and Prem Bhakti, this is when the devotee's relationship with Krishna now starts to become understood and felt within the heart of the devotee. And at that time, when he has become extremely purified, then Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma Prema Suryam Susamyabhak. Rupa Goswami describes that devotee who has come to the stage of Bhav, now Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma. What is Shuddha Sattva? It means pure existence. Where is the Shuddha Sattva? In the spiritual world. It's not here. It's not here in the material world. It's in the spiritual world. Shuddha Sattva. Visheshatma, a very specific type of Shuddha Sattva. It descends down from the spiritual world, from the hearts of the eternal associates of the Lord. Yes. Prema Suryamshu Samyabhak. Prema Surya Amshu. That means like a particle in the ray. Just like we have sun rays. So like a particle within those rays. Prema Surya Amshu. Surya means the sun. So the sun of what? The sun of Krishna Prema. Prema Suryamshu Samyabhak. It descends into the hearts of who? Of those devotees who have now become qualified to experience their eternal relationship with Krishna. What is their eternal identity, their spiritual form? And what takes place when those rays descend into the heart of the devotee? Just particle, just a tiny particle of those rays of Krishna Prem. Ruchi bis, chitta mashrinya. The chitta means your heart, your chitta. Mashrinya means to melt, to melt. So ruchi bis chitta mashrinya. When the devotee experiences this descent of these rays of Krishna Prem, then what happens is there are ruchis, meaning different tastes. Ruchi bis chitta mashrinya. These different tastes, and Goswami describes what they are, but these different tastes, they gradually melt the heart of the devotee. If someone has a hard heart, they cannot attain Krishna Prem. They cannot attain even pure bhakti if they have a hard heart. That's why the jnanis and even the yogis and all, they have hard hearts. But only when someone's heart becomes soft and melted, then one can begin to attain Krishna Prem. Liquid rasa. Because now bhakti rasa is going to be tasted by the devotee. So the science of bhakti rasa is given there. The science of bhakti rasa is given there. But there's a sequel. That sequel to that book is called what? What's it called? Ujjvala Nilamani. Everyone say Ujjvala Ujjvala Nilamani. What's the meaning? Every word of every sentence is important, especially the title of a book written by these great personalities. And what does Ujjvala mean? The word Ujjvala.
Higher. Superior.
No. Good try, but wrong. What is Ujjvala? Say that, Ujjvala. Okay, it's good. You don't know. Now you can admit you don't know anything. And so now I'm going to tell you the meaning. Ujjvala is also, there are dual meanings in Sanskrit for every word practically. But Ujjvala means what? Ujjvala means very brightly shining. Ujjvala. Ujjvala. But the term Ujjvala Rasa, what is it referring to? Yes. Only Madhurya Rasa, none of the other rasas. The term Ujjvala is referring to Madhurya Rasa. Only it is referring to the moods in the hearts of who? Out of Krishna's eternal associates. This term, Ujjvala Rasa, is referring to who? No. It's referring to the gopis. It's referring to the gopis' love for Krishna. It is called Ujjvala Rasa. But amongst the gopis, amongst all the millions and unlimited numbers of gopis, there's one gopi who has the highest, far, far beyond any of the other gopis. Her Ujjvala Rasa is so exalted. Therefore it is called Unnata Ujjvala Rasa. Unnata means topmost Ujjvala Rasa. We know that in Rupa Goswami's introductory verse to his drama, Padmanabha, there he's giving this initial mantra that he wrote, describing who is the Ishtadev. Who is the Ishtadev that this book is being offered to. And there he describes how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the son of Mother Sachi Devi, has descended in the age of Kali to give that which has not been given before. It is so rare what he has come to give. Anarpita chirim chirat karunayavatirana kalo. Out of his causeless mercy, karunaya. Avatirana means he descended. Karunaya, out of his causeless mercy. To give what? Anarpita chirim chirat. To give that which has not been given for a very long time. And then he tells what it is. Samarpaitum, to give. Unnata Ujjvala Rasa Swabhakti Shriyam. This does not mean directly Srimati Radhika's Unnata Ujjvala Prem, because the words Swabhakti Shriyam are added to that. And the word Shriyam, it means the beauty. So in this context, Shriyam is referring to the beauty of that Unnata Ujjvala Ras of Srimati Radhika, And that beauty is manifested in the form of the highly qualified, absolutely surrendered parikar of Srimati Radhika, who serve her 24 hours a day. And they're absorbed in what? In Radha Dasyam, serving the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika. That is called Manjari Bhav. This is what Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, who is the combined form of both Radha and Krishna, this is what he's come to give that no one ever could give, no one ever other than him will be able to give. Only he can give. And he comes to give the highest. Why would he give something of lesser? Why? If this is so rare, and he can give it, he's the greatest giver. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate. He's come to give Krishna Prem. If he can give it, then why would he give anything less than the very, very highest, rarest, unattainable Prem? He's come to give that. That you should all understand. This is the first teaching of our Gurudev when he came to the Western countries to try to drum it into everybody's brain, that try to understand who Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is. What does he come to give? Why are we in this sampradaya? Because he's come to give that which is unattainable in any other sampradaya. So now how can we attain that? How can we become a follower of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and then become qualified to attain this? Rupa Goswami wrote the book, Tirasamrita Sindhu, that if you follow that, then gradually you'll become more and more advanced, more purified, and then one day Bhav will descend in your heart from the eternal associates' hearts. That's where it comes from. It just doesn't come out of the sky. It comes from their hearts, who are existing eternally with Krishna in the spiritual world. And it descends into the heart of the devotee, who is now qualified to receive this. And now bhakti rasa begins to be tasted. But this specific relationship through which the highest prem can be given is only one rasa. There's not any others. It's not Shanta, it's not Dasya, it's not Sakya, it's not Vatsalya. It is Madhurya rasa. Ujjvala rasa. Unnata Ujjvala rasa. So therefore, now, Srila Rupa Goswami has written a sequel after he already mentioned the 5 rasas in his other book. He's mentioned, he's described it very clearly. He's given many, many examples. But now for those who are attracted to and have some qualification for the Ujjvala rasa, he wrote the Ujjvala Nilamani.
Nilamani, what does?
You don't think I'm going to tell the meaning of it? Of course I am. Good that you're asking. What does the word Nila mean?
Nil, it is blue.
That's correct.
Amani express something very...
The word money actually means jewel. It means a jewel. Yeah, but it means jewel, literally. Who is the bluish, blue-colored jewel? For Ujjvala Nilamani. This entire book is only about Ujjvala rasa, no other topic. And who is the recipient of this Ujjvala ras in the hearts of the devotees? There's one person who is blue, and he's so beautiful that he's like a gemstone, a bluish jewel.
Only Krishna?
Yes, only Krishna. So the Ujjvala Nilamani is named after Krishna, who is the beloved of the gopis. And this is the final literature to understand this topic. You see? So why is this conversation in the Chaitanya Charitamrita considered to be so high? Between Swarup Damodar and Mahaprabhu, and then Ramananda Roy also. Why is it considered to be so high? Because it's describing the topics that are written by Rupa Goswami in Ujjvala Nilamani. So I didn't want to miss the opportunity. No, I didn't want to miss the opportunity to read what has been spoken by Swarup Damodar Goswami. It is so sweet. It is so full of nectar. So I have decided to read that today. So now we are going to the 14th chapter. So, at this point in the conversation, this is not the beginning of the chapter. This is not the beginning of the conversation. The beginning of the conversation is at least 50 verses earlier. And as I already told, it's in relation to the mood of Lakshmi.
Which chapter? Which chapter? 15.
14. 14, verse 154. So up to this point, where we left off, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has become immensely joyful by hearing how Swarup Damodar Goswami described all the numerous types of different heroines who express their moods of man, jealous anger. This is a big topic. What is man? It's so very high. Before we came to our Gurudev, we barely ever heard this word. Although it's one of the stages of prema, man. But Srila Narayan Maharaj, he very clearly expressed how the relationship between Krishna and the gopis, and especially Radha and Krishna, is very much based upon this mood of jealous anger. And why is this topic being spoken? Because this Lakshmi Devi has come on her palanquin, and she's showing very jealous anger, but it's a different kind of anger. How she expresses it. Mahaprabhu says, I haven't seen any expression like this. What's going on here? And he says like that. So then finally, yes, now comes the actual conversation when all of the Jai Jai Maharaj, Haribol, Haribol. Please have a seat. Dandavat Pranams. Yes, so up to this point, Swarup Damodar Goswami has been telling to Mahaprabhu about the moods of the gopis in their expression of jealous anger, in their expression of man. And he divides them into different categories. There's so many different categories. Where is all that information coming from? It's coming from Rupa Goswami. It's coming from Ujjvala Nilamani. That's where the topics are broadly discussed by Rupa Goswami. But in this conversation, well, Mahaprabhu is becoming very enlivened to hear about this topic. So, Kaviraj Goswami, he says, E kata shunya prabhur ananda apar. So that means hearing this kata, shunya. Prabhur means Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Ananda apar, he received unlimited happiness. Ananda apar. And then what did he say? How did he respond to Swarup Damodar? Koho koho Damodar, bale bar bar. Again and again he requested Swarup Damodar to continue to speak. So, did Swarup Damodar have anything more to say? He already covered so many different types of heroines, all of this. Oh yes, he's barely scratched the surface. So now, Damodar, Swarup Damodar, Kohe, Krishna Rasika Shekhar. Now he expresses that, who is Krishna? He is Rasika Shekhar. This is the most important topic for us. That Krishna is the topmost relisher and taster of all rasas. No one else. Only Krishna. Not his expansions, not his incarnations. None of them can be called Rasika Shekhar. Only Krishna. Why? Because Krishna is made of rasa. Krishna's form is made of rasa. Akhil Rasamrita Murti. He is the very embodiment, Murti, the form of Akhil Rasamrita. All complete rasa. We should understand this as followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He has come to give the highest thing, and therefore now you have to understand the Siddhanta. The Siddhanta is that Krishna is Rasika Shekhar. No one else is him. Not Dwarkadish Krishna, not Mathuresh Krishna, not Ramchandra. None of the other forms of Krishna can be called Rasika Shekhar. Only he. And where does he live where he's tasting all of this rasa? Only in Vrindavan, nowhere else. And he never ever leaves Vrindavan. Not even for one single moment in all of eternity. Krishna has never left Vrindavan. Never. And he never will leave Vrindavan. And that's why the topmost planet in the spiritual sky is called Goloka Vrindavan. That's his abode. It's the highest. It's the highest abode. And in the middle of that planet is Braj, where Krishna eternally lives with his associates. And this realm is unlimited. It's not a limited geographic place. This Braj is unlimited, and it accommodates unlimited numbers of devotees. That's where we're going. That's where we are going in our life path and all of our millions of lives in this material world. We are going there to Goloka Vrindavan. We're not going to Dwarka. We're going to Goloka Vrindavan only. Only there. Because if you want to be a worshipper of Krishna, you have to find that Krishna who lives in Vrindavan. Not the other expansion of Krishna, not Vasudeva form of Krishna. No, he left his peacock Krishna with a peacock feather. In the early Krishna with a peacock feather. In the early days, some of the devotees, they didn't know the Siddhanta yet. So they painted like that. But Prabhupada tolerated it. Just the main thing is that they should know who Krishna is, you know. But then after some time, then we learned, and especially Srila Gaura Govinda Maharaj pointed this out. He said, no, You cannot put a peacock feather even on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So what to speak of Vasudev Krishna? No, no, no. Never. Only Krishna wears the peacock feather. Only Krishna plays the flute. Only Krishna has 4 qualities that no one else has. Huh?
When he has attachment to his devotees.
Prema. So, Rupa Goswami has described in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, as we were just explaining that he is giving us the full picture. Who is Krishna? And when he describes that Krishna has 64 qualities, then it's also broken down by him that Vishnu has such and such number of qualities, and then Ramachandra has a few more qualities, like this. But no one has 64 qualities. The 4 extra qualities only in Krishna. And so, what are these qualities? Rupa Madhuri. That Krishna is, his form is full of sweetness. The word Madhuri, it means sweetness. That's why Madhurya Rasa is the sweetness rasa. Simply inundating everyone in sweetness. If Madhurya Rasa was not there in Goloka Vrindavan, it would not be what it is. Yes. Srila Gurudev said, if the topics of Madhurya Rasa were not given in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, it would not be anything special, Srimad Bhagavatam. Yes, it would not be anything special. But Srimad Bhagavatam is for manifesting Krishna in full, his 64 qualities. And it comes only in Vrindavan, that's all. Braj Mandala. Why did he want to go to Vrindavan? Why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, why he wanted to go to Vrindavan? You don't know. You don't know. You don't know. Why did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu want to go to Vrindavan? Because who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radha. Radha. Yes, he's Krishna, but now he's not thinking that I'm Krishna. Do you know that? That Mahaprabhu is never thinking, I am Krishna. He is completely overwhelmed by the Mahabhav Prem of Srimati Radhika. He never thinks, I'm Krishna. He has come in that golden form, borrowing Srimati Radhika's golden color, Kanti, and her bhav. So why? Because he wants to taste this. And now every single one of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes, especially after he took sannyas, before, of course, he's absorbed in Srimati Radhika's mood, in his kirtan ras, here in Navadvip Dham. But his sannyas lila, now he wants to exclusively dive deep in the ocean of Srimati Radhika's Unnata Ujjvala Prem Ras. He wants to taste that. So why did he want to go there to Vrindavan? Because he's Srimati Radhika. This whole Ratha Yatra festival, we've already explained it before in our previous classes. That this Ratha Yatra festival is in the mood of what? The gopis, Srimati Radhika, bringing Krishna back to Vrindavan. Yes. The dancing of Mahaprabhu in the Ratha Yatra festival is Krishna. That's Jagannath is Krishna. And Mahaprabhu is Radha. And this exchange that's going on between Mahaprabhu and Jagannath is the exchange between Radha and Krishna, and Radharani especially is bringing Krishna back to Vrindavan on the chariot of her heart. On her heart chariot, she's bringing Krishna to Vrindavan. So, manifesting the same pastime, you'll see as we read the coming chapters, Mahaprabhu, after this Rath Yatra festival, his primary mission was to go to Vrindavan. Yes. So Krishna's Rasika Shekhar. Here Swarup Damodar is telling, Krishna Rasika Shekhar, Ras Avadaka. Rasa Avadaka means that he is the taster of all transcendental mellows. Rasa Avadaka means he's tasting all rasa. And Rasamoy Kalevara. Rasamoy Kalevara, what does Kalevara mean? Kalevara means this body, his body. His body is made of what? Rasamoy. His body is made of rasa. This is what Swarup Damodar Goswami is telling now to begin the next section of his discussion with Mahaprabhu. And then he says, Premamoy Vapu Krishna. Vapu means his body. His body is made of prem. Premamoy. His body of love and ecstasy. Premamoy Vapu Krishna, Bhakta Premadin. Bhakta Premadin means he's always subordinate. Prem Adin. Adin means to be subordinate. To what? The prem of his devotees. All of their loving feelings. Krishna is always subordinate to the prem of his devotees. Then, Shuddha Preme Rasagune Gopika Praveen. This means that the gopis, they are very much experienced in what? Shuddha Prem, pure love. Shuddha Preme Rasagune. Gopika Praveen. Rasagune means the love and the rasa in all their dealings and their interactions, dealings of transcendental mellows. Gopis, Gopika Praveen, they're extremely experienced. No one else. The queens of Dwarka, they cannot even one iota of this prem. They cannot experience with Krishna. Then he goes on and he says, Gopikar prem nahi. Gopikara preme nahi ras abasa dosha. What does that mean? That means in the prem of the gopis, nahi, it does not exist. What does not exist? Ras abas dosha. Dosha means a fault, adulteration. And what is that? Ras abas. There is not an adulterated taste of rasa. Not at all. No. In their prem, it's only pure. And therefore, because of that, because there's no flaw or adulteration in the love of the gopis, therefore, they give Krishna the highest pleasure. Ataiva Krishner Kori Parama Santosh. Krishna becomes supremely satisfied by the prem of the gopis. So Srila Prabhupada now, he gives a short purport explaining that what is Ras Abas. This is kind of like one of the vocabulary words of the devotees. Oh, that's Ras Abas, Prabhu. You know how the devotees use that. In ordinary, that's Ras Abas. No. Ras Abas only. Yes, even with food and everything. But Srila Prabhupada is saying that Ras Abas, it occurs when what? When what happens? It occurs when there is a flaw or an adulteration. Right? It occurs when one's relationship with Krishna is adulterated. So now he explains that there are 9 types of rasavas. Where's he getting this from? He's getting this from Rupa Goswami, Ujjvala Nilamani, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And in those different types of rasavas, there is first class, second class, and third class rasavas. Now the word rasa, what does it mean? It means mellow. In English language, that's the best word that was chosen by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, to express the word rasa in the English language. But we understand what rasa means because we've studied the books of Srila Prabhupada, Nectar of Devotion, and so forth, and we understand what is rasa. So, but the word rasa, it means mellow, but the word abhas, rasa abhas, what does that mean? It means a shadow, like a shadow. Abhas, Prabhupada is saying. Now, if one tastes one kind of mellow, and then something extra is imposed on that mellow, that is called uparas. Now you're going to hear the terminologies. When there's a mellow, but something extra is imposed on that, it's called uparas. If something is derived from the original mellow, comes from that, then it's called anuras. If something is appreciated that is far removed from the original mellow, then it is called aparas. So uparas, anuras, and aparas are respectively first, second, and third class ras abhasas. And then as stated in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, here's the definition verse. Purvam evanushishtena vikala rasa lakshana rasa eva rasa bhasa rasa gyayar anukirtita syustrito parasash chanur rasas cha parasaschate. That's a difficult one. Uttama madhyama prokta kanishtas chaityami kramat. So he's quoting the verse here. He gives the reference in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, but he doesn't give the translation in this purport. So now, here's a verse that is from the Srimad Bhagavatam that Sarup Damodar Goswami is quoting. And this verse is from 33rd chapter, 10th canto, Rasa Leela chapter. Verse 25. Evam shashankamshu virajita nisha sasatya kamo nurata balagana shisheva atmani avarudha saurata sarva sharat kavya kata rashashraya. So, this is now being quoted by Swarup Damodar Goswami, and it's describing the Rasa Leela dance. And it's explaining that Lord Sri Krishna, who is the absolute truth, he enjoyed his Rasa dance every night. During what season? Autumn. Every single night. Krishna enjoyed his Rasa dance during the autumn season. He performed this dance in the moonlight and with full transcendental mellows, and he used very poetic words. He surrounded himself with women who were very much attracted to him. So that is Shukadeva Goswami's expression. So now Prabhupada is explaining. This verse is a quotation from the Srimad Bhagavatam, verse 25 of the 33rd chapter of the 10th canto. So, the gopis are all transcendental spirit souls. What are the gopis? All of the gopis, what are they? Transcendental spirit souls. That's what the gopis are. They're transcendental. One should never think that the gopis and Krishna have material bodies. Vrindavan Dham is also a spiritual abode. And there, the days and the nights, the trees, the flowers, the water, and everything else there are all spiritual. There is not even a trace of material contamination. Krishna, who is the supreme Brahman, and who is also the super soul, he is not at all interested in anything material. Let us discuss this point for a couple of minutes. Is it possible for Krishna to be interested in anything material? No? Is it possible for Krishna to be interested in anything material?
No, God creates created material, that's why he's not interested.
That's one reason. Anything more? The point that is being made is that Krishna, who is the supreme Brahman and who is the supreme super soul, he is not at all interested in anything material. He's not interested. Can you take the most beautiful damsel, woman of this material world, Miss Universe or whatever, of this planet, and she presents herself with her beautiful form that is completely entrancing all the mundane persons of this world. They're entranced by her beauty. But is it possible for Krishna to be entranced by that? You think? What do you think, Gauranga? Is it possible for Krishna to be attracted to that? A body made of what? What's the body made of? Please remind us, Gauranga. Please remind us what this body and the body of Miss Universe is made from. Huh? Stool. Is that a very nice thing? Urine, blood, mucus. If you cut open the body and you peel it back, it becomes horrifying. It's only this little thin covering of skin and the shape of it that makes it attractive to the conditioned souls. But if that body somehow or other dies, is anybody attracted any longer to that body? No. No. So the thing that was attractive was not the body. The thing that was attractive was the life force, which is spiritual, which is consciousness, that is in the body and is causing the body to be animated and to move and to function. All the different functions of the body. It's only because of the presence of the particle of spirit that is there in the body. And as soon as that particle of spirit leaves the body becomes very unattractive. Nobody is interested to make a relationship with that body any longer. And that's why they have to take it within a very short time to the burning ghat. To the burning ghat. And there, the relatives see the body covered with ghee and so forth to set it on fire, and with big huge logs of wood over it, and you can still see the top of the head, and now the fire is lit, and Body is burned. So the question is being asked. No, the statement is being made. I'm asking the question. Krishna, who is the Supreme Brahman. What does the Supreme Brahman mean? Do you know? Param Brahma.
Yeah, but not in English. Верховный.
Verhovnaya means topmost.
Yes.
But Verhovnaya what?
Brahma. Brahma means pray, and man, the person who will pray.
The highest man.
Param Brahma.
Brahma.
What is Brahma? Atato Brahma Jigyasa, the first statement of the Vedanta Sutra. Now we're going to talk about Brahma. Now we're going to inquire about Brahma. And what is the second statement after that? Yes. Means the source of everything that exists is Brahma. Param Brahma means the source of all entities, of all creation, of everything is Param Brahma. And after Arjuna heard Krishna's main central verses in the Bhagavad Gita, he addressed Krishna. He said, Param Brahma, Param Dhamma, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan. He declared, you are Para Brahma. You are the absolute truth from whom everything comes. And what is the Srimad Bhagavatam? The Srimad Bhagavatam is the complete conclusion of this Siddhanta. How Krishna is Param Brahma. And how Krishna's incarnation within the material universe is exhibiting the facts, is proving that he's Param Brahma. Proving it. So, there is not even a trace of material contamination in the Vrindavan Dham, because it's the spiritual abode. And so, therefore, Krishna, who is Supreme Brahman and the Super Soul, he's not at all interested in anything material. His activities with the gopis are all spiritual. They're not material. And they take place within the spiritual world, not in the material world. We have to understand this Siddhanta very, very deeply. That's why there are 9 cantos before the 10th canto. So that you will fully understand who Krishna is. So his activities with the gopis, they are all spiritual and they take place within the spiritual world. So can Krishna become attracted, or is Krishna desirous of interacting with the material elements of this world? No. This is the prison house of the inferior energy. It's created for the living entities who want to forget Krishna. But therefore, in order to attract those conditioned souls to attain their eternal relationship with Krishna, Krishna comes in many incarnations, and especially in his original form, as given in Srimad Bhagavatam. And that happens only once in 8.6 billion years in our universe. Only in one day of Brahma, Krishna comes one time. So, his activities, Krishna's activities with the gopis are all spiritual. And they take place within where? Where do they take place? In the spiritual world. Well, then you can say, well, when Krishna came to this material world, we also are seeing in the Srimad Bhagavatam, he took birth in the material world, and then he grew up in this village with cows and all of that. So he's in the material world. Did Krishna touch the material world? Does Krishna even touch the material world? Do his eternal associates who descend along with him from Goloka Vrindavan, are they in the material world? No. They have no connection with the material world. How does that work? Well, it's called Krishna's superior energy, Yoga Maya. That's how it becomes possible. That Krishna can be in the so-called material world, but he can manifest the spiritual world in the material world. So there are many, many ignorant, very ignorant people here in India. Of course, throughout the world, but I'm speaking of a particular class of people. They're so-called Hindus, or some of them are not even Hindus, but they like to hear Krishna's activities of dancing with the gopis in Ras Leela. Do they know who Krishna is? No. They don't know who Krishna is. They don't know Siddhanta. But they're lusty, and they like to satisfy their lust by hearing about this lusty boy, Krishna, who dances with these lusty married women of other people's wives. But that is absolutely perverted. It is absolutely perverted that they think like this. This Ras Leela dance, if someone studies these 5 chapters very carefully, and you study the purports and the commentaries of the Acharyas, you will know for sure that there is nothing at all material in Krishna's Leelas, and especially his topmost Leela. This Ras Leela dance of Krishna's is his topmost Leela. That's why it's called his Maha Leela. And no one else has ever or can ever perform this pastime. None of Krishna's other forms and his associates can perform this pastime. So I'm finishing this. We have about 10 more minutes before we complete the class. So, Krishna's activities with the gopis, they are all spiritual and they take place within the spiritual world. They have nothing to do with the material world. Lord Krishna's lusty desires and all his dealings with the gopis, they are on the spiritual platform, not the material platform. One has to be transcendentally realized before even considering relishing the pastimes of Krishna with the gopis. Yes, you have to have transcendental realization to relish that. Did Mahaprabhu relish? Yes, you just heard how much he's relishing. And he's a sannyasi. Woman cannot even touch him. But yet he's relishing all of Krishna's pastimes with the gopis and the nature and the qualities of all the gopis and Srimati Radhika. That means it is transcendental. It is fully transcendental. Now, one who is on the mundane platform, who's that? Who are on the mundane platform. 99.999% of the human population are on the mundane platform. What must that person do who's on the mundane platform? They must first purify himself. By doing what? By following the regulative principles. Only then can he try to understand Krishna and the gopis. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sarup Damodar Goswami, they are here talking about the relationship between Krishna and the gopis. Therefore, the subject matter is neither mundane nor is it erotic. So being a sannyasi, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very strict in his dealings with women. So unless the gopis were on the spiritual platform, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would have never even mentioned them to Swarup Damodar Goswami. So therefore these descriptions do not at all pertain to the material activities. So now Swarup Damodar Goswami continues and he says, Vama eka gopi gan, dakshina eka gan. So the gopis can be divided into left-wing gopis and right-wing gopis. So both wings, left and right, they induce Krishna to chase transcendental mellows, rasa asvadana. By what? Nana bhave karai. Nana bhave means various bhavs, various manifestations. They induce Krishna. So that's why there's two different groups. They compete with one another to induce Krishna to taste various transcendental rasas. Left wing, right wing. Yes. And amongst all the gopis now, Swarup Damodar is honing in on the main topic. Gopi Gana Madhye Shreshta Radha Thakurani. Gopi Gana Madhye, that means amongst all the gopis, Shreshta, the chief of all the gopis, Radha Thakurani. Now, Nirmala Ujvala Rasa Prem Ratnakani. Nirmal. What does Nirmal mean? No contamination. Nirmala. Nirmala.
Mala, it means
It means dirt. It means contamination. Nirmal. So, now Swarup Damodar is saying the prem of Radha Thakurani is called Nirmala Ujvala Rasa Prem Ratnakani. Ujvala Rasa Prem Ratnakani. That means that she is a jewel mine, a mine from where you get valuable jewels. Srimati Radhika's prem is like a jewel mine of ecstatic love and the source of all purified, transcendental, conjugal mellows. Ujvala Rasa. Then he begins to describe Srimati Radhika and what are her qualities? What are her qualities? Vayase madhyama teho svabhave te sama. Gadha prem bhave teho nirantara vama. So, vama. So, Radharani is what? Vayase madhyama. Here Prabhupada gives the synonym that she's grown up. She's not a little girl. She's grown up. Vayase means her age is madhyama. So that means teenager. That means teenager. Yes. So she is grown up. Teho swabhavete sama. And what is her swabhav? What is her character? Her swabhav? She is called sama. Sama means very equipoised. What else? Gadha prem bhave. Gadha prem bhave means she is gadha. Gadha means very, very deep. Gadha prem bhave. Her prem, her ecstatic love is gadha. Very deep, and she's absorbed in that continually. And teho nirantaravama. Teho nirantaravama. That means she's always, nirantara means constantly. Nirantaravama. She's always absorbed in the vama bhav. Vamya bhav. left wing gopi. Okay?
Not easy.
Huh?
Looks like not easy.
Yes. And in the earlier part of the discussions, we heard about how the gopis are divided into different categories, and they have different moods and so forth. But Srimati Radhika is always Vama. She's always left wing. Now, Prabhupada explains here that, not Prabhupada, Rupa Goswami. Prabhupada's quoting Rupa Goswami. And he's saying that the left wing and the right wing of the gopis, they've been explained by Rupa Goswami in his what book? Ujjvala Nilamani. Now after this class, you'll never ever forget that again in your whole life. That book, Ujjvala Nilamani, is the final contribution of Rupa Goswami in terms of explaining Bhakti Rasa. So now in that Ujjvala Nilamani, here's the description from Rupa Goswami. Man grahe soda sado yukta touch chaitilye chakopana abedya nayake praya krura vameti kirtyate. So here's the description of a left-wing gopi. This is what they're like. A gopi who is always eager to be jealously angered. If you read the pastimes of Radha and Krishna and the different exchanges between them, you'll see that Srimati Radhika is always eager to enter into her moods of man, her jealous anger. Next point. After that, this is describing what a Vamya Gopi is. Next point is touch chaitilye chakopana. That means she is very enthusiastic for that position. Always wants to be in that mood.
Why?
Okay, let me finish the verse first. She's always enthusiastic for that position. Then the next one, abedya nayake praya. She immediately becomes angry when she's defeated. And she is never under the control of a hero. The hero is under her control, right? And she always opposes him. She is called Vama, or a left-wing gopi. Now that kind of sounds like if in the material world someone had a relationship with a woman that was like this, that relationship wouldn't last too long. It wouldn't last very long, okay? But in the spiritual world, this is a rasa of the highest variety. Why? Because it incites Krishna to taste rasa that is impossible for him to taste any other way. Can he taste those rasas in the association of Chandravali, who's a right-wing gopi? No, he cannot taste. That's why he's always being pulled from her association by the left-wing gopis and brought to Srimati Radhika. Why? Because Radhika knows that no one else can satisfy Krishna like me. She's not selfish. It appears to be selfish, but it's not. Actually, it's only for pleasing Krishna, and she knows that they cannot please Krishna. So therefore, she is always in this mood. Now, here's the description by Rupa Goswami of the right-wing gopis. Who's the right-wing gopi, Gauranga? Chandravali. Have you ever heard her name before? Chandravali? Yeah. Who is she?
Shambhu.
Huh?
Shambhu.
Shambha. Yes. Chandrava, Shambha, and Luna. Three main.
I don't know what you just said.
Shambha, it's your name.
Look, who is Chandravali in this context of what is being discussed here? She is the leader of the right-wing gopis. So, in the material world, in politics, you also have a left and a right. Right? But that's a perverted reflection of what? Of the spiritual world, where there is always this competition going on. So, let's hear what a right-wing gopi is. Rupa Goswami is explaining from Ujjvala Nilamani, Asakhya mana nirbande nayake yuktavadani samabhistena bedyacha dakshina parikirtita. So the word is dakshina. So dakshina means right wing, and vamyata means left. Now, asahya mana nirbande, a gopi who cannot tolerate womanly anger. They can't tolerate it. They can't become angry. She can't tolerate being angry. And Nayake Yuktavadani, she will always speak suitable words to her hero. And Samabhistena Bedyacha, she is always satisfied by his sweet words. She's always satisfied by Krishna's sweet words. Dakshina Parikirtita. They are known as the right wing gopis. So, if you compare this to what we just heard about the left wing gopis, you'll see it's completely the opposite. It's completely the opposite. Now, he goes on to explain to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is relishing this to the highest extent. He is relishing this. He's so utterly absorbed in hearing every single word that Swarup Damodar is speaking. And now Swarup Damodar says, Vamya swabhave mana utte nirantara. What does that mean? That means in the left-wing gopis, the Vamya swabhav, their nature, their character, their womanly anger is always awakening. Always. Always awakening. But what happens when that womanly anger is always awakening? Krishna derives transcendental bliss from such a gopi's activities. Tara madhye utte Krishna ananda sagara. Ananda sagara means like an ocean of transcendental bliss. That's how Krishna feels when that womanly anger awakens like that. And that's the reason why Srimati Radhika is always in that mood, because it completely incites Krishna to derive such transcendental bliss that he cannot even compare to the right wing. So here's the famous verse where Rupa Goswami has compared, the dealings of a young boy and a young girl as being like the crooked movement, zigzag movement of what? A snake. A snake. If you watch a snake as it moves, does it just go straight? No. It has zigzag. Right? So here, the word for snake in this verse is aher or ahi. Ahi means snake. Aher ivagati premna swabhava kutila bhavet. Swabhava kutila. What does kutila mean? Crooked. Kutila means crooked. Swabhava kutila bhavet. Aher ivakati premna. The progress of loving affairs between a young boy and a young girl, it is by nature crooked. Yes. Yes. And kutila swabhav. Crooked nature. Yes. And like the movement of a snake. Because of this, two types of anger arise between a young boy and a young girl. Two types of anger arise. What are those two types? Ato hetor ahetascha yunor mana udanchati. Hetu means cause. One type of anger arises because something caused it to arise. Huh? But there's another type of anger which has no cause. You see? So, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard these talks, his ocean of transcendental bliss increased. Is our ocean of transcendental bliss increasing as we're hearing this? Some people are bored. Some people can't relate with it at all. Some people like it a little bit. But Mahaprabhu, it was increasing his ocean of transcendental ecstasy. Ananda Sagara. And therefore, what did he tell to Swarup Damodar? Koho koho kohe Prabhu, bole Damodar. He told Swarup Damodar, go on speaking, go on speaking. And therefore, Swarup Damodar, he continued. Yes. He's just starting. Swarup Damodar is just starting his glorification of Srimati Radhika. It goes on for another 40 verses. What is the nature of Srimati Radhika's advanced ecstasy? Here's the term. Adhirudha Mahabhav Radhikara Prem. The word Adhirudha Mahabhav means highly elevated ecstatic love. Highly elevated. Adhirudha Mahabhav Radhikar Prem. Her prem is always like this. And her dealings, all of her interactions and dealings are Vishuddha Nirmala. They're completely pure and they're completely Nirmala. Uncontaminated. Yes. And then he says, Jaiche Dashavana Hema. Vana, here in this context, Dashavana means 10 times more pure. Dashavana. 10 times more pure than what? Hema. Gold. Her dealings are 10 times more pure than gold. Krishnera darshana jadi bhai achambite. Achambite means all of a sudden. All of a sudden. Krishnera darshan jadi bhai achambite. As soon as Radhika gets the chance to see Krishna, then what happens? Nana bhav vibhushane hoy vibhushite. Her body suddenly becomes decorated with vibhushita. So many ecstatic ornaments. Just like on the body. The woman likes to, art, alankars. They like to decorate their body with earrings and this and that and this and that. But what are the decorations on the body of Srimati Radhika? As soon as she sees Krishna, suddenly her whole body becomes decorated with ecstatic ornaments. Nana bhav vibhushane. Vibhushane means decorated with these ornaments. Vibhushite means decorated, and vibhushane means ornaments. Not ornaments of what? Nana bhav. Various ecstasies. Ashtashatvik. Harshadi, Vyabhichari Jar, Sahaj Prem Vimshati, Bhava Alankar. So now we see the term Ashtasattvic. We hear that very often. What does that mean? That these are transcendental symptoms. There are 8 in number. So now, summarizing Srimati Radhika's body and her symptoms that come when she's with Krishna, he's giving the list here. Ashta Satvik Harshadi Vyabhichari Jar Sahaj Prem Vimshati Bhav Alankar. The transcendental ornaments of Srimati Radhika's body includes the 8 sattvikas, the 8 transcendental symptoms. Then it includes the 33 vyabhichari bhavs, beginning with harsha, or jubilation in natural love, and the 20 bhavs, or the ecstatic emotional ornaments. So here, there's the list of 33 different bhavs. And this is, we should hear it. We cannot understand, but we will have to study very deeply Ujjvala Nilamani and try to understand how these automatically, they sprout up on Srimati Radhika's body as soon as even momentarily she sees Krishna. What are these bodily symptoms? I'm reading the list from 1 through 33. Nirved, indifference. What does indifference mean? It means that you're not interested. You're indifferent. Second one, vishad, morose, moroseness. 3, dainya, meekness. That means very humble, very meek, dainya. 4, glani. Glani means a feeling that one is in a faulty position. You know where else we hear that term, glani? Huh? Yes. Huh? So, dharmasya glani. Glani means some faulty position. So, Krishna uses that term when he explains that when dharma becomes faulty, that is when I descend in this way. Dharmasya glani. But in the context of transcendental symptoms, this is a feeling within the heroine that she has some faulty position. Then comes 5, shrama. What does shrama mean? It means fatigue. Fatigue, tiredness. 6, mada. You should know what mada means. We hear this word a lot. Huh? Mada. Mada means madness. Stark, raving, transcendental madness is called mada. 7th, garva. Pride. Pride. Garva. 8, shanka. Shanka means doubt. Doubting. Not certain. Doubt. Number 9, tras. Tras means shock. You're shocked. Yes. 10, avega. Intense emotion. 11, unmad. Craziness. Unmad. That goes with mad and unmad. Madness and unmad. Extra special madness. Craziness.
All exceeded Mahaprabhu.
Yes, of course. All. Because he's tasting all the bhavs and moods of Srimati Radhika. Even as he's hearing this, he's becoming mad from just hearing. 12, apasmara. Apasmara means forgetfulness. 13, vyadhi, disease. Vyadhi. Number 14, moha. bewilderment, moha. 15, mriti, death. Death. Mriti means death. Alasya, number 16, laziness.
All these things
Alas.
we can understand.
Huh?
All these things we can understand. He can't do that.
Yes.
But when he came in the form of Maharaj, he can understand.
Yes, he's tasting. He cannot, that's what he came for, to taste this.
Yeah, it's a-
Shiradhaya pranaya mahima.
Dhamma.
Yes, all these moods, bhavs. Okay. Moha, bewilderment. Where are we? Yeah, alasya, laziness. 21, vitarka. Tarka, vitarka? You know, tarka, vitarka? That means argument. Vitarka, argument. 22, chinta, contemplation, contemplation. 23, mati. Mati means attention. Your mati, your attention, your consciousness. Where do we see this word, mati? Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavita Mati. And which other? Yes, see, same thing, mati. Matirana Krishna Paratak Satova. So mati means attention. 24, dhriti. Dhriti. We know a Prabhupada lady disciple who was named Dhriti Devi Dasi. She was one of the artists. Dhriti Devi Dasi. But what does the word dhriti mean? Forbearance. Forbearance means very determined, very forbearing, not giving up, never giving up. Dhriti. 25. Harsha. Jubilation. Jubilation. Harsha. 26. Outsukya. Outsukya means eagerness, very eager. Outsukya. 27. Augriya. 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 Violence. Violence. Where do we hear this word also? Ugra. Ugra Nishringa. Don't think that you're going to have a peaceful time, my dear demon, when you're in front of Ugra Nishringa, because he is going to lash upon you with the ultimate violence. Ugra. So another form of that word is augriya. Augriya, violence. Huh? Yeah.
You know, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Narayana to sing Vivavadi Sesha.
Yeah.
So he said, he's very ill. So he said in Srimad, with the Ugra,
Yes. Yes.
his nice words also.
Yes, yes, yes.
Also, Krishna is Srimad.
Yes. Now comes 28, amarsha. Amarsha means anger. Amarsha. 29, asuya, jealousy. Asuya.
He's so jealous.
It comes from, suyata, which also means envy, jealousy. Asuya, to be jealous. 30,
Jealous of
30, chapalya. Chapalya means what? Impudence. To be impudent. Impudent. 31, nidra. Sleep. 32, supti. Deep sleep. And 33, the final one, prabodha. Awakening. These are the 33 vyabhichari bhavs, the bodily symptoms manifested in ecstatic love. Then, Swarup Damodar begins to give examples of all of this. Kila kinchita, kutamita, vilas, lalita, vivokta, motaita, armogdya, chakita. So, in the synonyms, there's, like kutamita, the symptom explained in verse 197. Vilasa, the symptom explained in verse 187. Lalita, the symptom explained in verse 192. So, some of the symptoms that are critically explained in the following verses are Kila kinchita, kutamita, vilasa, lalita, vivokta, motaita, mogdya, chakita. 8. Etaphav bhushai, bhushita Shri Radhar anga. When Srimati Radharani's body manifests the ornaments of many ecstatic symptoms, then dekite uttale Krishna sukhabdi taranga. This causes the ocean of Krishna's happiness to immediately display transcendental waves, taranga, waves. Kila kinchita bhaver shuna vivaran jay bhav bhushaya radha hare Krishna man. So now Swarup Damodar is saying, now listen to a description of different ecstasies, beginning with Kila Kinchita. We hear this a lot. Kila Kinchita, Kila Kinchita. I remember Tirtha Maharaj used to like to say a lot about Kila Kinchita. So now hear a description of different ecstasies, first beginning with Kila Kinchita. With these ecstatic ornaments, Srimati Radhika enchants the mind of Krishna. Hare Krishna man. She enchants his mind. Bhav Bhushai. So, I'm just going to read this, Kila Kinchita, and then we'll complete the class today. It's just a few verses. Radha Deki Krishna Jadi, Chunite Kore Man, Dan Gati Pate. Dan Gati Pate, the path in the Dan Gati. Jabe Varjena Gaman. So, when Sri Krishna sees Srimati Radhika, Srimati Radharani, when he sees her and he wants to touch her body, then he prohibits her from going to the spot where one can cross the Yamuna River. He stops. He stops Radhika, stands in the way, and prohibits her. So then, Jabayasi Mana Kore Pushpa Utaite. Approaching her, Krishna prohibits Srimati Radharani from picking flowers. And he may also touch her in front of her friends. Saki Age, that means in front of the Sakis, Chahe Jadi Gaye Hat Dite. He may also put her in his hand and touch her hand also. Yes, in front of her friends. So, at such times, E substane kila kinchita udgama, pratame harsha sanchari mulkaran. At such times, the ecstatic symptoms of kila kinchita, they are awakened. And first, there is what? What is the first awakening of that? Harsha, jubilation in ecstatic love. And this is the root cause of these symptoms. So now, I'll end here with the purport of Srila Prabhupada. And when I read this the other day to myself, I was amazed. Because You know, all of these pastimes actually Prabhupada explained. These pastimes in Chaitanya Charitamrita, from Rupa Goswami's books and so forth. But we never noticed it. But when we came to Gurudev, then year after year after year after year, we go on Govardhan Parikrama. And when we go on Govardhan Parikrama, we go first to where? Dangati, where Krishna stopped the gopis from crossing over Govardhan Hill. And then when we go to Varshana, we go to another place. What's that called? In Varshana, where Krishna is a very narrow place. Only one person can pass through at a time. Huh?
What is beautiful for Krishna?
Huh? No, Gaharvan is the whole forest area after you go through that. Then you come to Gaharvan.
Good with taxation.
Yes, with tax. That's Dan. Dan means you have to pay. Dan Gati. But this one is called what? Okay. Whenever Srimati Radharani leaves her house, she is always very well dressed and very attractive. Prabhupada has explained. It is her womanly nature. It is her womanly nature to attract Sri Krishna's attention. That's where that nature comes from in the material world, isn't it? It's a perverted reflection of the original womanly nature attracting Krishna's attention. But in the material world, it becomes very perverted, and it becomes very gross, very ugly, and it leads one to what? Suffering. Suffering. Hello, suffering. So, that's why women are attractively dressing themselves and decorating themselves. Why? Because they want to enjoy their own sense gratification. But does Srimati Radhika and the gopis dress themselves to enjoy their own sense gratification? Never. What? They want to attract Krishna's attention. And then, upon seeing her so attractively dressed, then Sri Krishna desires to touch her body. Krishna desires. Then the Lord finds some fault in her and prohibits her from going to a river crossing. And he stops her from picking flowers. Such are the pastimes between Srimati Radharani and Sri Krishna. So being a cowherd girl, Srimati Radharani regularly carries milk in a container, and she often goes to sell the milk on the other side of the Yamuna. Did Gurudev make a comment on this? She often goes to sell the milk on the other side of the Yamuna. Yeah. Yeah. Because... Yes. But then, what is she bringing the milk for? Yagya. She's bringing it for the yagyas of the different munis and sages, you know. But she's not going there to sell the milk. But anyway, she's a cowherd girl, and cowherd girls sell milk in general. Huh? Yes. Now, she has to cross the river. She has to go on the other side of the Yamuna. So to cross the river, she has to pay the boatman. And the spot where the boatman collects his fares is called the Dan Gati. Now Lord Krishna stops her from going and tells her, first you have to pay the fee, and then you will be allowed to go. This pastime is called Dan Keli Leela. And similarly, If Srimati Radharani wants to pick a flower, then Sri Krishna claims to be the garden's proprietor and prohibits her. Yes, this garden belongs to me. So this pastime is called Kila Kinchita. Radharani's shyness arises due to Sri Krishna's prohibitions. And then ecstatic, loving bodily symptoms called Kila Kinchita Bhav are manifested at this time. These ecstatic symptoms are explained in the following verse, which is from Rupa Goswami's Ujjvala Nilamani. And he says that pride, garva, ambition, abhilas, rudita, crying, smita, smiling, asuya, envying, bhaya, fearing, krutam, anger, shankari karanam, the act of shrinking away. Did you get that last one? Shankari karanam. We were trying to remember the name of that place which is narrow. In Varshana, Shankari Kor. There you go. But the synonym here, Shankari Karanam, actually means the act when one shrinks away. When one shrinks away, that's called Shankari Karanam. Harshat, jubilation. So, Kila Kinchita, pride, ambition, weeping, smiling, envy, fear, and anger. They are the 7 ecstatic, loving symptoms manifested by a jubilant shrinking away. And these symptoms are called Kila Kinchita Bhav. Yes, yes. And Raghunath Das Goswami also wrote a book on the same Leela. And what did he name his? Rupa Goswami's is Dan Keli Komudi. And Raghunath Das Goswami's book is titled Dan Keli Chintamani. Yeah. Huh? Part of that?
Part of the Stavavani.
Oh, Stava, yes. Yes.
Everything there.
Yes, Stavavali. Stavavali. The collection of all the poetry of Raghunath Das Goswami. Yes. So, and there are even 7 other transcendental ecstatic symptoms, and when they combine on the platform of jubilation, then that combination is called Mahabhav. That's what it is. Mahabhav. We'll read that in our next class. Now we've run out of time. So you see, these are the topics discussed between Swarup Damodar, Mahaprabhu, and of course Ramananda Roy is also there because all the other Vaishnavas and associates are also there next to Mahaprabhu as this conversation is going on, and they become overwhelmed in ecstasy. So we will complete our reading there, and in our next class, which will be on what day? Tomorrow, Monday, is the return Rath Yatra in Puri. And on Tuesday, when we have class, that is, so the Tuesday when we have class, so on Tuesday, this is a disappearance day of Srila Bhakti Kamala Madhusudan Goswami, the uncle of Van Maharaj, Sripad Van Maharaj. But I'm thinking to switch it to the 17th. Oh, right. Okay. Yes. Because the 17th is his appearance day, actually, and it's also Shayana Ekadasi. It's also Shayana Ekadasi. So yeah, so then we can have 2 days.
Are we going to Mayapur?
Well, that's because they can't serve a feast on Ekadasi. So they have Ekadasi Prashadam on the first day, but on the second day they have full Prashadam. Yeah, so that would be on the Thursday, 17th and 18th. So I think what we'll do is we'll have class on Tuesday. We'll have our usual class. And then on Wednesday we'll go there to Mayapur for that program, for Bhakti, for Vigyan Bharati Swami Maharaj. And then I think what we'll do is the 18th is also that's a Thursday. The 18th is also the second half of that festival. Then the 19th is Friday. So I think what we'll do is we'll switch our day from Thursday to Friday. Very busy week.
And then the 21st is Guru Purnima.
No, 21st. 2 days after Tuesday. It's on Sunday. It's on this coming Sunday. Today is Sunday. 1 week from today is the 21st Sunday. And that's the big day, Vyas Puja day. The appearance day of Srila Vyasadeva. It is also the disappearance day of Sri Sanatana Goswami. It is also called Sri Guru Purnima, and it is the first month of Chaturmasya on that day. So on that Sunday, we will have our class here. We'll have our class here. And then we will complete. We'll have to do kata, suitable kata. But I think one thing that we can do is we can complete this reading on that Tuesday. Huh? What?
Wonderful.
Yeah. We'll complete this reading on Tuesday, day after tomorrow. I know, but he what? What? Yeah, in Puri, it's the return Rath Yatra, and this small little Rath Yatra that they do here, they'll also do it on that day. But I didn't attend the last 2 years. They asked me, huh? Yeah. Yeah, so, that's on the Monday, but on Tuesday. But on Tuesday, on the 16th, then we'll have kata, we'll complete this kata. What we're reading here, we should be able to easily complete it, I think, on the next class. And then we can say that we actually heard the highest kata in the Chaitanya Charitamrita that completely overwhelmed Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was so enthusiastic to hear these topics.
A very important thing is how Prabhupada entered that topic.
Oh, he what?
How Prabhupada entered this topic.
Ended.
Entered this topic.
How he entered, yes.
To us.
Yes.
And nobody got this.
Yeah. But Prabhupada did, because he's giving the Chaitanya Charitamrita. He's reading the purports of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and now he's deciding which to tell. Because all cannot be told. Prabhupada was still giving this to a general audience, even of devotees. But I remember when I first started coming to Srila Gurudev for the Rajmandala Prikrama and all of that, from 94 onwards. Even in 91 I came to visit Gurudev in Mathura. And at that time he mentioned, he said, I want to present the whole Chaitanya Charitamrita with the purports of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati and Bhaktivinoda Thakur. I want to present the whole thing. And at that time, I was not so much aware, but guess what Gurudev actually did? He made the team of devotees, trained them up, and Gokul Chandra is one of them from Delhi and now lives in Vrindavan. And they have worked diligently for a number of years, and they have presented in Hindi the entire Chaitanya Charitamrita with the purports of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and also comments by Srila Vaman Goswami Maharaj and our Gurudev. So, and now they've also given the first volume. They gave me a present last year when Gokul Chandra came here to Navadvip, and he gave me a present of that first volume translated into English, which is the Adi Leela, chapters 1 through 8, I think. Chapters 1 through 8. With the purports of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So what treasures Prabhupada gave to us? You know, Prabhupada used to say about his Guru Maharaj that in his old age, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he used to only read Chaitanya Charitamrita, just relishing. And when Prabhupada crossed the ocean on the Jaladuta ship, he wrote in his diary, I am relishing the nectarine of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, so far away from that dham. All right, so we are fortunate, and we'll continue to try to dive deeper and deeper and deeper in all this nectar. Gaur Premanande Hari. Maharaj Ji. Can you bring him the Mridanga? See, all of us Prabhupada disciples, we all got trained up in the early days. We had to learn to play the Mridanga. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna. Jaya Sachinandan, Jaya Gaura Hari, Sachinandan, Jaya Gaura Hari. Gaura He, Gaura He, Gaura He, Gaura He, Gaura He. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Shri Chaitanya Charitamritam ki. Vrindai Tulsidev Priyaya Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavachai Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. All glory to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. How was your trip to Katwa?
Oh, amazing. So amazing.